uh, I just want to talk about what's going on in Minnesota. So, you know what's happening in Minnesota? Tim Sugar Walls has basically been caught uh, scamming American tax dollars or allowing Somalians or the Somalian community and Ilhan Omar and her ilk to be robbing Americans blind, taking billions of dollars, still stealing billions of dollars in welfare, Medicare benefits, and then transferring that money or converting that money uh, and sending it to terrorist organizations in Somalia. There's proof, there's evidence that's going to be coming out. I'm going to do an extensive report on this because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of things that you should know, and it's more than I could tell you. I'll have to show you because I think a lot of you may be, because you, first of all, you don't like Donald Trump, and I've been telling you this for years. This guy is for the American people. He's trying to get us back on track. Um, Forget about this thing called you think he's racist and all of that stuff. This has nothing to do with racism. If you think about it, African people who come here, they I'm almost at the fringe of being freaking a FBA, which is a foundational Black Americans. But I'm not gonna never do that. But I'm like I understand and sympathize with that cause because we, as Black people, are here. We were taken from our nation and sold by Africans, and we're in the United States, and the United States happened to become this great country, and now the children's of those people that sold us off are now coming to America, and then when they come to America, they look down upon us. Somalians say they're not even black, and I can prove it. Somalian leaders, when they speak to Somalians in America, they say that they always dissing African Americans or Black Americans, or that's why you call us foundational Black Americans, that we don't know who our fathers were, or we don't know who our fathers are. And me, I'm not on the African people's side. I'm on Black Americans' side. Now, I may talk some stuff to defend African people in China. Okay, that's a different story because we all niggas over there. Okay, um, but when it comes to Africans and people in America, blacks in America, I'm totally on Black American side. And you really got to change your mind if you're not. If you think that we could all get along and it's kumbaya, kumbaya. I told you I used to work with one of these guys, African guy from Cameroon, and what he used to do is just talk down on African Americans. And you know, I'm not upset, but I'm like, why? You know, in my mind, I never asked him, but I was like, in my mind, why are you come here for? If you think America's racist, or you think it's all bad and all of this kind of, why are you coming here for? And every time I would talk to him, all he talked about was scams, like scamming his friends, scamming him scamming his friends, him getting green card scams for his countrymen to come over here, stealing money and credit cards, information from people, from Americans, and then using that credit card schemes and scams to enrich themselves. And I'm just like, why do you do this? Why are you here? Is it to pillage the American people. Now, then you do have many Africans who, they work really hard. So I can't say it's like all Africans, okay? Like Nigerians, they come here, they're more successful than Americans in a big sense. But does that mean that African Americans and and Africans in America are kumbaya friends? No. Matter of fact, we're almost so much tribalism. We don't like each other, and I can understand why Black Americans don't like Africans. I can understand that, right? I also can understand why Africans don't like blacks, but I don't agree with them. Why Africans don't like American blacks, but I don't agree with them. I feel like we can act any way we want. This is our country. We earned the right to live here. I know there's some ratchet ass behavior in the African American, the Black American community, but it's our country. You got the Somalians or Ilhan Omar always ragging on the United States, always talking crazy about our president, President Trump. She wasn't born here. Allegedly, she married her brother to get him a visa or a green card in America. She doesn't represent Americans. She represents Somalians. She calls herself a Somalian. She does not call herself an American. And she's pushing for Somalians to have more rights. Currently, they're like, I think there's like 30, 40,000 Somalians in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. And they're a very powerful group of people. And they want more stuff. They want to become mayors. They want to become congressmen. They want to become senators. And I say no, especially as a black American. I say no. You don't. She shouldn't even got any type of uh, 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 of power to be a senator. And when I see that, I get so angry because if you go to Somalia, because a lot of these Somalis, they don't even speak English. They've been here for 15, 20 years. They don't speak a word of English. And they take their culture with them. And they put all this stuff over their face and all that stuff. Um, but if you were to go over to Somalia and then you started speaking English, you don't speak Arabic, and you started speaking English, and you wanted to become a senator or a mayor of that country or of a state or Mogadishu in that country, they will have you tarred and feathered and hanged. You would be hanged. Your black ass would be killed, would be shot on the spot. They would not let you nowhere near a government position in Somalia. And these same people that will not let you have a position or any kind of power in Somalia, they over here asking for rights. Asking. They're not asking, they're demanding rights. They're taking our money as taxpayers. I work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I pay taxes. I pay federal taxes. And my wife works hard and she pays federal taxes. And here we are giving our money to a Somalian so the Somalians can send that money to some terrorist group that hates America in Somalia, where several years ago they were dragging Americans across the streets of Mogadishu. You know, um, and it kind of makes me upset that Americans take care of everybody but ourselves. And if we keep on doing this, we're going to become a socialist state and we're going to become just like Shitgland, or what I like to call England. Okay, it's already happening. You see Chicago, it's horrid. New York, New York City looks like a damn third world country. It looked like Somalia. If you go to places like Stockton, California, it looks like Somalia. It looks like a wasteland. And we already got it bad enough where we got um black ninjas, if you know what I'm calling it, American black ninjas destroying the country. Now we got foreigners coming in destroying the country. And I'm like, well, if I gotta have an enemy, at least I want an enemy that I know. And I'm not calling all black people my enemies. I'm calling ninjas my enemy. And so we need to do something about it. And so I'm going to talk about this more. I'm going to talk about it more later. But I say kick the Somalians out, kick the Venezuelans out, kick the Haitians out. Uh, Sorry, guys, kick the Mexicans out. Anybody who's illegal, kick them out. Anybody who's doing crime, kick them out. Don't let nobody back in the country for a few years. Not anyone. I don't care if they're European or any other Japanese, Chinese. Don't let nobody in our country till we fix the immigration system. I would say a couple of years. Let us fix ourselves. 2 years, I would say. Have a halt in immigration and let us fix our immigration system. And if nobody wants us to come to their country, I don't give a hell. You know what I mean? As long as we could fix our country. Because right now our country's broken. It's heading into uh, uh, like a dystopian. To me, it feels like a dystopian, a dystopia, where they try to force what you would call globalization and multiculturalism. It doesn't work if you need to have a trust-based system. The more homogenous, the better. And when I say homogenous, it doesn't have to mean um, racially homogenous. I mean culturally homogenous. And America is not a right now. It's not a culturally homogenous society. We got too many traits. You got I think one of the biggest problems is Islam. This is a Christian nation. Okay, United States is a Christian nation. It is not a Muslim nation. I do not want Shahara's law inside my country. If you go to Mogadishu, you got Mogadishu, which I'm talking about. When I talk about Mogadishu, I'm talking about what do you call it? Um, I'm talking about Minnesota, Minnesota or whatever you want to call it. Okay, they really got problems over there, and we allowed it to get this far. And you got Tim Sugar Walls destroying, you know, the very fabric of what America means. And and imagine we could have had him as a vice president, and we could have had Kamala Harris as the president, and we would have been basically halfway to communism. It's, I mean, it's crazy the way this country was run into the ground. And now, people are saying, you racist, Randy. You don't know what you're talking about, Randy. It's against the blacks. Everything's against the blacks. No, it's racist Trump. But every time you turn up a rock, Trump is right. Every time you turn up a rock, billions of dollars sent to Somalians by people who don't think they black. But they are black, but they don't think they black. And who you think are your brothers and sisters. Those people ain't your brothers and sisters. Okay? I'll take up arms with a white American before I take up arms with a Somalian that was born in America, or that is, or that think they're American, or that came here a few years ago and now they got their green card. I will take up arms with a white American over a Somalian any day, over a Haitian that any day, especially the ones that came here recently. I'm not talking about the ones that been here for like 50 years or their mama's mamas. I'm talking about the ones that got here recently. Okay, to me, y'all not part of us. Get out my country. Get your all their stuff revoked. Get the Somalians need to get everything revoked. I think Ilhan Omar needs to get her visa revoked, or at the least get kicked out of Congress. That woman does not deserve a Senate seat. So, I mean, y'all can call me racist if y'all want. I don't care. You know I don't care. So this is the flag. I'm out. Who's Evan? So take, you can take what I say with a grain of salt, but watch, in a few years, in several years, you're gonna have to be speaking Arabic or Spanish to get around the United States. This is America. Guys need to take back your country, man. I love being American. American to me is not a color. This is a culture, and it's being degraded by people that hate us. This is the flag, man. I'm out. Peace. Like and subscribe.